They're lying, lying, and lying. They're denying, denying, and denying. But trust me, guys, it's not going to work for them at this point. Why? Because we know everything that they have done. It is time for accountability. It is time for admission. It is time for you to tell us the truth. But Lex Wexner, in this case, he is, of course, just like his buddy Howard Lutnick, is lying at the same time, saying, oh, I have lost my memory, I don't remember anything. And the only thing Les Wexner is saying right now is that I had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein only on the financial basis. But that is a BS, complete BS, because as we know, Les Wexner, he visited Jeffrey Epstein's island just like Howard Lutnick. So all of these pedos, they have to admit the crime, but then, we didn't do it. We were at the crime scene, but we didn't do it. This is not gonna cut it for you, buddies. Take a listen at this video from MS Now. But before I play the video, if you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing and like this video, share this video. Have a listen.
Coming out of this House Epstein probe, the recent Epstein files showed the DOJ had leads on these people in Epstein's orbit, and others redacted. As you see, this was a big, important document that we only got from the new files, and the DOJ only ultimately prosecuted one, Maxwell. We only know that because Congress overruled Trump and forced out those files. Now, some of the same members of Congress say they are doing basically some of the investigative work that the DOJ failed to do. And that would stretch back from the recent Trump administration and the Biden administration, because these leads, if they mean anything, weren't deeply followed by the DOJ under successive administrations. That's the background. Here's what's happening today that's new. The House compelling a powerful billionaire who's usually behind the scenes, Les Wexner, to go under oath, to provide answers about his long business history with Epstein. He was interviewed where he lives in Ohio. Democratic lawmakers led this questioning today. Some Republican staff members were told also attended. Now, Wexner's a key figure because we already knew Epstein made so much money off of him. This is one example of a photograph from the Oversight Committee with an individual redacted, again, under the reasons we've been told, but the two men having a drink, hanging out, whatever you see there. Now, Epstein made money off this man.
Well, Epstein made money, and when, he accused Les Wexner, when he accused Epstein of stealing his money, he was lying, as we know. I mean, we can say it, what we have seen from the documents. But what was really happening, if he had said, Les Wexner, to us that, hey, no, he did not actually steal money from me, but he blackmailed me, that would be much more plausible, because that's what Jeffrey Epstein does, because this is what he was trained for by Mossad, by CIA, by Israeli government. When he said, no, he stole my money, no, you are not that stupid that somebody like Jeffrey Epstein will steal money from you, not in the hundreds or thousands, but in millions. This is not something we are so stupid to believe. We know that you were blackmailed to do his bidding, to do Jeffrey Epstein's bidding, to go to his island and pay for the island, pay for those girls, pay for those trips. Everything was paid by Les Wexner. I would not hesitate to admit it, because this is exactly what the scenario looks like to me.
And we know big sums were also returned. Now, lawmakers say their evidence shows over $1 billion cumulatively went from Wexner to Epstein, and that he's in the files over 1,000 times. You're looking at
billions of dollars.
File, one photograph. There are many, many other references and contacts with him. Now, that $1 billion is part of the fortune that ultimately propped up Epstein's crime spree. And it's been documented that Wexner, back in the day, cut ties with Epstein around his first legal problems in Florida. And if you think about some of the people who've gotten in trouble recently, you remember a lot of them are being basically held to account because after Epstein's conviction for a sex crime involving a minor, what they call soliciting prostitution for someone under 18, and people years later were in contact with him, and they got in trouble for that. This one is a little different. Wexner can show and point to evidence, financially and otherwise, there's documents that they cut ties around that time. In fact, Wexner also says Epstein stole from him, and they got some of that money back, as I mentioned. Now, today, the new Wexner testimony includes a public statement where he describes how, despite his own business skills and, purported acumen and intelligence, he says he was duped. by a world-class con man and that he regrets ever having met him.
Yeah.
Wexner also
No,
suggested
we are not going to buy that. We are not going to buy that, you old pedo.
today that Epstein was a skilled manipulator living a type of, quote, double life, and that he would compartmentalize different sets of people and crimes. Now, if you do an investigation, you follow these kind of pieces of testimony or allegation. And there's some support for that because the emails do show Epstein kind of operating in a different way, even with very different language and different sort of references depending on who he's dealing with. The key question that I'm going to get to here is whether Wexner knew that or not. Wexner suggests that he was only and essentially one of Epstein's financial victims, and others were Epstein's sex trafficking victims, and that basically Epstein had a lot of people fooled.
And guys, remember, Les Wexner, he's saying all of this after visiting Epstein's Island. Like, he was at the crime scene, and he's saying this, that, well, I didn't see nothing else. This guy was just stealing my money. Really? You are at the crime scene, you don't see the crime. You only see that you had been duped, quote unquote duped. We are not that stupid.
Now, we should note Wexner has not faced any legal allegations from the DOJ, and that is his view. And that's part of why investigators gather testimony. But was it the full truth? And was it credible? That's also what we're reporting on today. Some of the Democratic lawmakers basically, we'll let you see what they said, but I would kind of summarize it as that they basically doubt Wexner's claimed confusion or ignorance about the totality of the years of other Epstein activities.
Mr. Wexner appears to be unaware of much of the money, as he claims, that was given over to Mr. Epstein, trying to downplay how close Jeffrey Epstein and Mr. Wexner actually were.
The more this deposition goes on, the less Wexner knows.
We are running into dead ends. She most likely will be left with more questions than answers.
He has basically alleged that he saw no evil, heard no evil.
So you can see the law.
Yeah. See no evil, hear no evil, do no evil. Well, I take it back. See all the evil, Les Wexner, do all the evil, hear all the evil, and then expect people to show you leniency. No, you rot in hell, you pedo.